Hi Now Daily. Ka'ialani Odom is here cooking up dishes featuring the flavors of Polynesia.
Then, Lino Girl stops by with details on how you can support Maui through music and meals.
Plus, Oktoberfest is around the corner. Timothy Golden is here from Village Bottle Shop and Tasting Room.
This and more right now on Hi Now Daily. Prost! Aloha and welcome to Hi Now Daily. I'm Rachel Pocaro.
I'm Kainoa Carlson. Today we're kicking off the show here in the Hi Now kitchen. We have Kristen and Ka'ialani Odom here. They're from Kokua, Kalihi Valley. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mahalo nui for coming in. And Ka'ialani, we want to start with you. Kokua, Kalihi Valley. Tell us about that. What is that?
So Kokua Kalihi Valley is a federally qualified health center that's been around for over 45 years, and it really started off with a doctor, a dentist, and a couple of healthcare workers that went into the community to see what the community needed. And now, after all this time, we have over 250 employees. We speak about 23 languages. We have community gardens, we have elder programs, we have a bike program for kids, and we have Roots, which is our program that started about 12 years ago.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about Roots Kalihi because you guys also have your hub store that's right in Kalihi.
Right in Kalihi.
So tell us a little bit about that because you have some of the carbohydrates right here.
Yeah, so we support about 35 local organic farmers, and we try and get their produce into our hub so that it goes out into the community. And in listening to the community, what they really want is they want their traditional and their cultural foods. It's what makes them feel healthy, feel good, connects them to their stories, to the Aina, to their ancestors. And so how do we make that easy for them to have? And this was actually Kristen's idea, but we have dried uala and ulu mix. It comes from Waianu and Kako'iwi farms, but cooked, dried, and ready to go. So you know how sometimes it takes a long time to prepare these? We want to take out that factor and say, yep, you can make this easy. So what we're going to be making for you is a cereal and also a soup.
Kristen, go ahead. Yeah. Okay, so what is she going to be using? What's Kristen using right now?
So you actually rehydrate this, and it's a 2-to-1. And so we just did warm water, because we were doing everything at once. But you could actually heat up, we have macadamia nut milk, but you could heat up any type of milk that you wanted, or even juice if you wanted. And then you hydrate it for you fill it to just cover. You hydrate it for about 15 minutes, and then you can add anything you want. So right now, we're also adding guava and starfruit. That's from Waianu Farms, one of our local farmers, dried bananas. And then we'll add in some macadamia nut milk, and we have 2 different yogurts. We have a lemon yogurt, or we have an alternative coconut milk yogurt. And so you can choose which one you want. And then we usually add honey or brown sugar or some type of sweetener on top. So you guys can add whatever you want on top and see what it tastes like.
And I love that you're making it super simple because we were talking a little earlier. Sometimes the community, some of them you were saying they don't have homes, and so something that they can make easy, pick up a bag and they just add water, milk, whatever it is, right?
Well, I was just talking to Kainoa. He has a 2-year-old, and so he can actually take a bag of this and some warm water or warm milk in a thermos and travel on the road with it, and you've got a healthy meal for your child, and you can add anything that you want. We tried it out with hokulea so that they could take it on the voyage with them, and so they're bringing good cultural carbs along with them to keep the sailors healthy while they're traveling. And so there's so many uses for this, and we really wanted to make it easy and usable for everybody.
Oh, beautiful.
Absolutely.
Kristen, look at these.
And the smell it reminds me of my childhood, my auntie's house with the guava tree. So it smells like guava in here, you guys. So good. Fresh.
Oh no. I don't even know if I'll give this to the cake. I'm gonna have to hang on to this.
Our Polynesian carbohydrates are the healthiest carbohydrates in the world, and we've, as a society, gotten away from eating carbohydrates, and we really need to get rid of the processed carbohydrates, but these are the best carbohydrates, and they're actually really healthy for our body.
What are the cultural carbohydrates? What are a few of them?
Kalo, uala, sweet potato, ulu, breadfruit, cassava, uhi or yam. Those are the ones that we use mostly and we make cassava fries with it. We make ulu patties. We make all kind of things with the carbohydrates. And so it's something familiar to our community, but we try and then also add in foods that they're maybe not so familiar with. And so we give them a lot of different ways to use it.
Love it. And now I always think of comfort food when I'm in the kitchen. You got a soup that you're going to prepare today.
So we're going to make a soup, and we're just going to start it now. And so one of the things we also wanted to say was we don't add any seasonings to this. So that means somebody that is usually using WIC or EBT, they can actually buy it, and we double bucks, and so they can pay half price for it. And so anybody with a WIC or EBT card can do that. So I'm using bone broth, but you can use any type of broth that you want. And what I usually look for them on sale. Like a lot of times soup goes on sale. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna add our carbs inside.
And which one is that you're using?
This is the ulu and uwala. So it's been cooked and dried already, so you're not really cooking it. And then I just take whatever vegetables that I have in my kitchen, and we're just going to add this up, and then we're going to cook it while we're on break, and then we'll come back and have some when we.
I'm looking forward to that. And then, where can people get the product? Because bags such as these for people who are out there and want to support.
Right, so they can come to Roots Cafe and Food Hub. We also have a cafe, so it's open every Tuesday and Thursday from 11 to 1:30. And you can pick up one of these, and you can also get a fresh, healthy lunch. So you can follow us on Roots Kalihi. That's our Instagram. It will tell you we sell the produce from all of the farmers. We sell plate lunch, and we sell value-added products every Tuesday and Thursday.
Right on. Ladies, thank you so much for
Mahalo
joining us. And we
Thank
will
you.
catch up with you a little later in the show. Now, these recipes were so quick and easy. And speaking of making what get in the kitchen, we caught up with City Mill to get the recipes to make that garden last just a little bit longer. Take a look.
Hey, how's it, Aloha gang? We're back at City Mill. We're with Iris, and today we're talking about an item I know you got at home, vinegar.
Vinegar.
How is this going to help with plants? That sounds crazy, right?
Oh, vinegar is an amazing thing. You can use it for all kinds of stuff. For plants, especially for like herbicides or weed killers, it doesn't hurt pets, your children around you, and it evaporates over time. You're gonna need equal amounts of 1 gallon of vinegar to 1 cup of Epsom salt. Make sure you use a chemical resistant bottle. A few drops of dish liquid in there, and you mix it up, and then it's good to go. Vinegar by itself will actually just burn off the leaves. You want to make sure you go and do it in the middle of the day when the sun is hottest. Within a day, the leaves of the weeds would all die. You need the salt, because the salt will go into the ground and kill the roots. So you want to make sure you use both, because otherwise, if you just kill the leaves and you have the roots there, it'll come back.
So how often do you recommend using the spray?
At least once a day until you're sure it's kind of dead. What you also want to be really careful of is you don't spray it on other plants.
But in some particular cases, you can use vinegar and it actually supports plant growth, right?
If you have cut flowers and you want them to last longer than 1 day, you can use vinegar mixed with some sugar to help keep the flowers looking nice. But the first thing you want to do is make sure you cut your plant at an angle like this. This actually makes sure that you have enough surface for the water to go through. So when it's like this, you only have a very small surface. So if you cut it at an angle, it increases the amount of surface you have on there. You know, you can make your own herbicide or any of these things we offer, but we also offer a really large array of insect sprays and herbicides that are natural and organic also. And our friendly people are always here to help you.
All right. Coming up next on High Now Daily, Oktoberfest is around the corner. Coming up here in a couple of weeks, we got Tim Golden here from Village. He's got info what to drink and what to eat. Rachel, what else do we have?
We've got some powerhouse musicians here in the High Now Kitchen. We're going to be hearing from them in just a little bit. And also, we've got a doggy over here. Look how cute he is. This is Blake. We're going to be catching up with VCA hospitals in just a bit. We'll be right back. You're watching High Now Daily.
Hello and welcome to High Now. Today we're diving deeper into a local nonprofit organization working every day to protect our keiki here. We have Jamie Miller, the Executive Director of Ho'olanapoa, and John Tobin, Special Agent in charge of Homeland Security Investigations. First of all, welcome to the show and mahalo for everything you guys are doing in our community.
Thank you for having me.
So Jamie, tell us a little bit about Ho'olanapoa.
We're a nonprofit organization that works with children and the community to combat sex trafficking here in Hawaii.
So from your perspective, what are you seeing legislation-wise?
Through many efforts this past legislation session, a bill became a law, and that's Act 83. And what that does, it helps Hawaii, it propels Hawaii as far as legislation is concerned to look at and take a multidisciplinary, multi-pronged approach in tackling this issue. And it's bringing all government, non-government organizations and entities together to do a needs assessment of where we are as a state of Hawaii in anti-trafficking and what do we need so that we can bring an end to this here. So this is the first time that it's on our books in Hawaii recognizing what child sex trafficking is. And so that's monumental for us. We need John and what he does and what he directs here in Hawaii.
Our partnership with Ho'olanapoa goes back to 2019 when we actually signed a memorandum of understanding to collaborate because we in law enforcement need the perspective of the service providers. A lot of the information that service providers receive is critical to what we do. It's critical to our investigations, and it's critical for us to be able to properly resource these types of investigations. It also allows us to collaborate closely with survivors, bringing those voices to the table so that we can have that knowledge and that experience make us better and educate us on things such as, the tactics that we use, the language that we use, some, very, very small things that make a big difference in us building the relationship with those people that are in need.
And how important is survivor input in terms of how that's going to help advocacy and legislation moving forward?
Yeah, so for us at Ho'olanapoa, we are an organization that is survivor informed. It helps us with our treatment, with prevention, with the education, with all the programs that we do. So bringing survivors on board from the very beginning during their healing journey will help inform what we do next and what is to come in future generations.
What those voices help us do on the law enforcement side is really promote the things that they are looking for. Allow us to identify how we can be more effective. Because every single day, every single minute that somebody remains in that situation, they're suffering, and it is our responsibility to get to them and to make sure that when we get to them, that they trust us. And the trust between victims and law enforcement is one of the first things that traffickers attack.
And a lot of the programs that you mentioned with Ho'olanapoa, you folks are looking for people to continue to be mentors and support the organization. So how can people do so moving forward?
Right, so you can just go to our website and find out more information there. You could email us. We are having an event coming up soon called our Pearl Gala event, a big fundraiser of the year.
How do people get more information?
They can come to our website at www.ho'olanapoa.org. And we have all the information necessary to get in touch with us.
Okay, mahalo Jamie, mahalo John for all of the work you're doing every single day in our community. And for more information about Ho'olanapoa or to get tickets to the gala, head to our website as well, hignowdaily.com.
Now coming up, what you need to know about canine influenza in Hawaii. We'll be right back. You're watching High Now Daily. Aloha and welcome back to Hi Now Daily. Right now I'm with Jessica Sun of VCA Hospitals, and you brought your good old pal here, Blake. Now today we're going to be talking about canine influenza. What is that and how concerned should we be that it's here in Hawaii?
Yeah, canine influenza is actually a strain of two viruses. They've been around since about 2004, but we've never actually seen it in Hawaii before. And unfortunately, in August, we saw our first cases.
So how concerned should we be? I mean, as hearing it myself, I'm like 4 or 5 cases. Is that a lot? What's the concern level right now?
Yeah, the concern level is fairly high because we haven't seen it here before. This is something that we can vaccinate for, but we've never had to in Hawaii because it hasn't been here before.
Okay, so you said that there are some vaccinations.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So canine influenza, because we've known about it for a while, we do have vaccines available. So ideally they're what we call a bivalent vaccine, meaning it covers for 2 of the main strains of canine influenza. And dogs should be vaccinated, they should have 2 boosters, 2 to 4 weeks apart, and then get annual boosters after that. And while it's not 100% protective, it does help lessen the severity of them getting sick and how sick they do get. So we do recommend vaccination.
Okay, so if you have your canine at home and it looks like they may be sick, what would some signs be if they had influenza?
Yeah, so common signs of canine influenza are coughing, sneezing, nasal discharge. If you bring your dog to a veterinarian, they'll take a temperature because oftentimes those dogs have fevers as well. Most dogs don't get terribly sick. They sort of, like us, don't feel very well for a little bit, but with some rest get better. But unfortunately, some pets get really sick and can die from this.
Wow, so what you want to do is just take some precautions, and that might be staying away from really crowded areas, right?
Yeah, so any areas of really high dog concentrations, so groomers, kennels, dog shows, pet stores, it's probably better if your pet is not vaccinated to stay away from those places.
Okay, so if indeed you want to get your dog vaccinated, you said it's a 2-step approach. They have to go and get the first, and then a couple weeks later you go in for the second dose, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and what would that look like when you are doing the testing on your dog?
Yeah, so testing for canine influenza is actually a nasal and throat swab.
Okay.
So it's fairly easy. Dogs are pretty well tolerant. Blake is pretty good about it. He's been a dummy dog, but basically we glove up sterilely and then pull out a specialized swab. And so similar to COVID, basically we do a nasal swab, and then one at the back of the throat, which I will spare him today.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we send those tests out to the laboratory. Takes about 2 to 5 days to get back.
Takes about 2 to 5 days to get back. So, I mean, it's not too uncomfortable for them. It's not like they have to get put under or anything like that, right?
No, it's a
Super
fairly quick test. So probably could have done it real quick right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if people want to book an appointment with you folks at VCA Hospitals, where can they go? How can they do that?
They can always search us on the internet. We have 6 locations in Hawaii. I work at VCA Family and Oahu Veterinary Specialty Center in Pearl City, and you can always give us a call to book an appointment for vaccination. Or if you think your dog is sick and potentially has canine influenza, give us a call because we do have a 24/7 emergency department.
Awesome. Well, you two, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we have all of those locations listed on our website as well. But we are watching Hi Now Daily. We will be right back. See?
Oh, beautiful. Okay, that's Na Hoku Hano Hano Award winner Raya Helm singing in a special that will be aired on Hawaii News Now. And she joins us in studio. Welcome.
Hey, aloha.
Aloha. Welcome to the show and congratulations. How has the work been going with Hawaii Symphony Orchestra?
Well, you know, it's always been a dream since I was like a teenager. Growing up on Molokai, that was one of my goals, to sing with the symphony. That was a few years back, but revisiting that last year and the year before, being able to perform with them, it was so fun.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you think that has on yourself as an artist and a musician when you're able to collaborate that way?
You know, I think, I'm not speaking for all artists, but I think, you know, majority of performers, that's the dream, to get to perform with the symphony. And to be able to be in that element, it really enhances the music even more. I mean, that's like, you know, I think that's like the top, you know, being able to collaborate and, you know, get to hear what it sounds like with a big sound.
Now, you mentioned collaboration. What was it like coming together with Michael Fumai as well? How was that?
Michael Fumai, he's a great gift. He is so talented, local boy. You know, I was actually a student of his at the
full circle then.
Yeah, at the music department at UH Manoa, and and he's here and a wonderful guy to work with. So talented, and you know, working with the symphony, you get to dream big. Yeah, and having someone like him on your side to you know, bring those songs to life. It's a really cool experience.
I'm glad you mentioned the songs. Let's talk about song selection.
Okay, so you know, I can't recall exactly why I chose those songs, but you know, when you're in the moment and you try to think of, you know, something that you want to try and, you know, share as far as like the old style, the old songs, having a collection of styles. I just kind of grabbed songs and thought, hey, just, you know, go with it. But with Michael, you know, have an idea on how things can kind of be more cohesive with the symphony. And yeah, there's a lot of work behind, you know, that I don't think
can't even imagine. Yeah,
I don't think a lot of people realize, but yeah, it comes out so nice.
Well, we cannot wait to watch it. Can't wait to see it. Real quick, before we let you go, how can people follow you? Stay up to date with all of the concerts, all the performances you're doing. So
you can, I guess you can follow me on social media, Raya Music. I'm normally posting, especially with a new album that was just released. So there's that, and of course Facebook. But
perfect. Well, congratulations. We can't wait to see it. And mahalo for joining us on High Now.
Thank you.
Okay, now quick recap. You can catch the Hawaii Symphony Orchestra's 1-hour special on Hawaii News Now. Raya Helm with the Hawaii Symphony Orchestra. It's going to air September 23rd and 24th. Air times are listed right there on the screen. Hey, coming up, how you can help in Kokua, the food bank, this weekend on the Valley Isle. Plus, what you can expect if you're planning to celebrate Oktoberfest at Salt at our Kaka'ako. But real quick, before we head to break, a live look outside on this beautiful Aloha Wednesday. Camera, small, kind, bumpy, a little bit windy. You're watching High Now Daily Live. We'll be right back. Hey, how's it, Aloha gang, and welcome back to High Now Daily. We're back up in the kitchen. We're with Kristen and Ka'iu of Kokua, Kalihi Valley. Earlier, we made soup.
Yes, and the soup is all finished. Yes, would you like to try it?
I would. Okay, one more time, Ka'iu. What's in the soup?
So we have our dried carbohydrates, so the ulu and uala, but we also have mushrooms, bean sprouts, bok choy, cabbage, and I'm actually going to put a little bit of Chinese parsley on top. You can do whatever type of protein you want. It's hot, so do it from the top. You can do whatever type of protein. I was thinking tofu, or if you have a chicken that's already cooked, or something that you just want to use some leftover meats, you can just also throw that in. So that's your complete meal right there. You got your veggies, your carbohydrates,
and healthy
protein.
and light too.
Yeah.
I'll still be useful, hopefully, for the show. Now, in addition to the many recipes you folks do, we can also do patties, yeah?
Yes.
Hamburger.
So, hamburger. And so what Kristen's going to actually start making it, and what she has right there is this dehydrated mix, and it's a 2-to-1 thing. So if you dehydrate 2 cups, you're going to end up with 4 cups by the time it dehydrates.
Okay.
And so what happened is we mixed 2 cups with 1 pound of hamburger, and we get kualoa beef, because we're also, besides supporting farmers, we support producers and local beef and protein suppliers. And so we get the beef from Kualoa. So she's got an egg, and anyway, we were able to make 13, 14 patties out of this. They have disappeared along the way, but when we made them, there was 14 patties. And so we just mix all of this together. And this
local
is the,
stuff. So you have some green onion in there, egg, and then what's going inside now?
This is a seasoning mix. Like Kristen was saying earlier, we keep the seasoning out of it because in order to be eligible for SNAP and double books, you can't have any salt or seasoning inside.
Very important.
So we keep it on the side. That way that they can use their EBT card, and then we can just give them the season. But you can actually use whatever seasonings you want. The seasoning is in the soup, but we also added a little bit of patis and a little bit of sesame oil inside of that.
Oh no! And then at the end, once we're all fried up, this is what you get, yeah?
That's what you get. Over here. Yeah. So we fry them in the frying pan over here, and
get that. Okay, beautiful. Sorry.
And again, you've got a healthy carb in there. You've got a protein. If you have like leftover spinach or kale or carrots or celery, you can add anything you want inside. We made just a very basic one.
I'm so close to dipping this hamburger in the soup.
Go right ahead. No yeah. Let's see.
I think what's fascinating though is when you talk about these cultural carbohydrates is how many different dishes you're able to create.
Right, and so a lot of times people just think of it, as we tend to eat it before, which is just on itself. But we try and incorporate it in all types of dishes, and so that we have this, like I said, we want to get rid of a lot of the processed carbohydrates in our diet, but we substitute it then with the healthier carbohydrate, and so we want to make it easy to use.
And Ka'iu, why was a program such as Roots and this Aina to Table idea so important, especially as Native Hawaiians, local people? We have such a relationship with the Aina and the land.
Right, and so anyone that knows the story of Haloa realizes it's a reciprocal relationship, and that we take care of the land and the land takes care of us. And really the health of the land and what we see now is reflective of what's going on in the world, and we are disconnected a lot from our land. We live in cars, we live in apartments and drive in cars and work in buildings, and so our feet aren't even touching the ground that our food is being grown on a daily basis, and we need to have that connection. So at Roots, we find all different ways to have food connect us in a healthy way. Like our stories are important, passing down our stories, passing down our knowledge, passing down our history and culture of our food, sharing with neighbors, having neighbors, and we maybe have someone from the Micronesian community and the Samoan community and the Hawaiian community, and they all see the same plant. They may call it different names, but they can sit and laugh and talk about how they use the plant, and then they can share a meal together and all eat and continue to tell their stories, and it's a way of bonding. But connecting to even our spirit, our foods culturally connected us to who we were. And so if we're cutting out carbohydrates from our diet, we are cutting off our spiritual connection to who we are as Hawaiians. And so bringing that back into, we are probably one of the very, I'm sure there's other indigenous cultures, but for us, our spirituality is attached to our food, and so making sure that we have it. You can see Kristen's Hapai. We also teach a Hawaiian class for Native Hawaiian couples on birthing, and we ask them to eat kupuna foods at least once or twice a day while they're hapai, so that their babies are already developing that ono. And so as they're born, then we support the farmers and people that are growing the food. They support the aina and they grow it in ways that are going to make sure that our aina is healthy for 7 generations.
And the future generations to come.
And it's just this cycle that keeps going. And so it is about, having food that's healthy, but really it's about supporting our future, it's about supporting our aina, and it's about supporting our community.
Okay, well, mahalo nui, Kristen, I feel like I could stand here all day. I'm learning so much from being with you. So mahalo nui for that. And for more information about Kokua, Kalihi Valley, we'll have it up at HiNowDaily.com. I'm gonna finish the soup and the burger. Rachel will send it over to you.
I heard you are a big Lena Girl fan, and guess what? She's right here.
Yahoo! Oh, Kainoa, thank you, but please save some for us, okay? Yeah. That look good.
Exactly, me too. But there's a free benefit concert featuring the global ukulele community called Music and Meals for Maui, and that's why we have Sarah Maisel, and we've got Lena Girl here. Okay, so you have to tell me all about this incredible benefit concert.
Oh gosh, honestly, it all kind of came about very quickly, of course, because of just the fires being, just last month. But basically, my husband, Craig Chi, and I originally intended this event to focus on Maui ukulele players. And as soon as we put it out in the universe, we're planning on doing this event, the very first person who actually called us was actually Jake Shimabukuro, and he said, how can I help? What can I do to help? And so he got us in touch with Maui Food Bank, and from then on, all of these ukulele players from all around the world just were contacting us saying, what can I do? What can I do? And we couldn't turn anyone away, so it's turned into a giant, it'll be 9 a.m. till like 2 or 2:30 p.m. featuring just worldwide ukulele players. We'll have live players as well as pre-recorded folks from Taiwan, Japan, UK, Denmark, just all over, and the continental US too.
Okay, so Music and Meals for Maui is what you folks are calling it, and it will be online. So it'll be YouTube live streaming, and then you will re-air that. But you're telling me it's 5 to 6 hours of content. We have all kinds of musicians, and you said you just have to open the gate for everyone because you have people coming in from Germany, from all over the world wanting to participate, right?
Absolutely, and it's amazing how the small, humble ukulele, how it has a worldwide community, and how that entire community wants to make a huge impact for Maui, and we are so incredibly grateful for that.
Absolutely, and we're grateful for Lena Girl. Yes! emceeing the event.
I am.
So tell me how special that is for you.
It's very important to me because the ukulele is actually my main instrument. I've been playing it all my life as a musician prior to getting into emceeing and radio and TV and all that fun stuff. So when Craig and Sarah reached out and they said, Lena, do you think you can lend your expertise to this? I was like, automatic, absolutely. And in the years that I've been playing ukulele, I have found that this worldwide community, it's massive. And it's not just players. It's people who love to listen to the music. It's people who love to build the instruments. It's people that love to sell, the retailers as well. Everybody wants in on this. And so we're grateful to also lock arms with Andrew Kitakis, who is the owner of the Ukulele site. It's a store out in Wahiawa, Haleiwa, arguably the #1 ukulele retailer in the world. And it was he, along with Craig and Sarah, that said, I need to jump in on this. So there's an online ukulele auction happening, one-of-a-kind instruments that are being built specifically for this event.
I love that. And that live auction will be going on throughout the 5 to 6 hours of broadcast that'll be happening on YouTube.
It's actually already started.
And it has already started.
Yes.
So what are you waiting for? Get there and start bidding on those incredible ukuleles. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. Go ahead and check out Music and Meals for Maui. That's going to be happening, as we were talking, it starts 9 a.m. Hawaii time on September 16th. And for details, go to craigandsarah.com/Maui. 100% of those proceeds will go to the Maui Food Bank. One of the performers is Abe Lagrimas Jr., who's live with us in studio. We've got a sneak peek for you. Take it away.
For over 40 years, Levitt, Yamane, and Soldner has fought for the rights of people across the islands. Joining us here in the studio today, we have John Yamane. And John, we're talking about the impact that is facing so many residents on the Valley Isle with the Maui wildfire. So I want to start, John, with what Levitt, Yamane, and Soldner is doing right now to help those and kokua on Maui.
We're trying to help people on two levels. As lawyers, we are trying to help them negotiate all the paperwork and also represent them in terms of making claims to hold those responsible. On a personal level, we've donated time and money. We've gone and volunteered at some of these distribution hubs and got to meet the people that were affected face to face. And when you see the resilience and the courage they're exhibiting, makes you want to go fight for them even more.
What about class action?
Well, in a class action, what you're doing is you have to have cases that are similar. The Maui cases are very different. You've got property damage cases, you've got people that were injured, and you've got people that passed away because of this. And so because there are so many different types of cases, class action is not necessarily appropriate in this situation. People have been devastated by this wildfire, and that's why we're doing these cases on a contingency fee basis. That means they don't have to pay anything to hire us as lawyers. We only get paid at the end of the case. We also front legal costs, so it's not going to cost anybody a dime to get us involved to help them with this case.
People come across this segment and they're not sure whether they need legal help or not. They don't know what's the first step in the transition moving forward. What message do you have for people out there who are considering, I don't know if I need legal help or maybe I might?
Call us or visit our website. We'll be happy to answer any questions, give them information so they can decide what they need to do. Come to our talk story at the Andaz Maui at the Wailea Resort on September 17th, Sunday, from 12 noon to 4 p.m. We will also be at the Philcom Center on September 20th from 10:30 to 2:30 in Waipahu.
For more information about Levitt, Yamane, and Soldner and all the kokua they're doing to help Maui, head to our website, hinowdaily.com.
Aloha and welcome back to High Now Daily.
Hey!
Now in a couple of weeks, we have Salt at our Kaka'ako will be celebrating Oktoberfest, and you know we love some Oktoberfest.
That's right. So we brought in a professional, okay? This is Tim Golden right here. He owns a Village bottle shop and tasting room. He also hosts the Art of Beer podcast. For all things knowing and tasting and drinking beer, this is the go-to man.
That's what we do.
Right here. What's up, Tim?
How's it going?
Welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah, we're ready for Oktoberfest.
Okay.
So it's coming back. We got 2 weekends this year. We got September 23rd and September 30th. It's been so popular that we extended it to an extra Saturday.
Oh, nice.
5 to 9 both weekends. It's fun. It's in the barn. It's all at our Kaka'ako. We got tons of beer. We got brats, food, music. You know, it's just a celebration.
I love that
Everything
because we love Oktoberfest. We went last year, and you came on last year, which was awesome. We were doing this thing, was like the Stein hoisting.
Yep.
So what is that?
What is that?
That's where we do a contest, and it's from 6 to 8 each night, where it's basically who can hold the Stein up the longest without bending their back and bending their arm. So normally, we put a can in here. It's a liter mug,
Right.
and who can hold it the longest, right? So you got yours. Yours is empty. We normally fill them with keychains.
That one looks different than mine for some reason.
They're heavy. When we put keychains in there, they get heavy.
Is heavy.
Yeah, it is.
Well, can you drink it?
No,
while
and you
you're
can't
doing
bend
it?
your arm. You got to keep your arm elbow straight.
Oh.
No squatting, no bending. Don't bend your neck.
I know.
I'm
All the
actually
tricks.
right-handed.
And people do this, right?
Yeah.
And
it was actually, it's just
So what does the winner get?
I feel fine.
Winner, we got prizes from Sierra Nevada and Samuel Adams. So they're awesome prizes. We give prizes to men's and women's, first through third, right? And it's super fun. It's more just bragging rights. People come and they watch, they come back and go, who beat my time? And they want to come back and who beat my time, right? So they go out.
I mean, when all the beer flowing, does anyone remember? Hey, who beat my time? They're like, Rachel. They come back, they're like, who beat my time?
Right. But it's fun, you know. It's all part of the fun, and it's just having a good time, tasting different beers. So we try to get a good amount of different German beers, German fest style beers, and then domestic German beers, German style beers. So
what do we have over here? Yeah.
So we got a bunch of different fun beers. We got a mix of actual German beers, and you got stuff like Sierra Nevada and Samuel Adams, who always make amazing German style fest beers. We got something from Paulaner, Eyinger, Spaten. We got Weihenstephaner, Schönrammer, different beers from
Wow.
yes, and they're all awesome. They're all for this time of year, and let's crack some.
I was gonna say,
Definitely,
I like mine full, so
Okay, so
let's try
I gotta
that.
ask, man. Oktoberfest and German beer. What makes a beer a German beer?
Well, first, I mean, a lot of these styles originated in Germany, right? So. And then with the Oktoberfest beers, that's Bavaria, down in Munich, the southern part of Germany.
Did I not tell you this guy's a professional? He knows so
and
much.
This is a Paulaner. So a Paulaner is actually a Munich-based brewery. So if you went to Oktoberfest in Munich, you could go to the Paulaner tent. So there's only actually 6 breweries that pour at Oktoberfest. They have to be brewed within the Munich city limits, right? So Paulaner's one of them.
Okay.
Spaten's one of them. Hofbrau, which we don't have, but we should have at the event. And then we got Lowenbrau, Hocker Porsche, and Augustiner, right? Those are the breweries that if you went to, I'm gonna open a spot in for myself.
Yeah.
If you went to Oktoberfest, you would be able to go into their tents, and they have these massive tents.
I
right?
cannot imagine that.
Thousands and thousands of people, these massive tents. So what we do in the barn is we decorate the barn. It's got streamers and pennants, and we try to make it fun, seem like Oktoberfest, right? So we got mini ones.
All right.
Oh man, and
We got mini ones.
Too. Look at that.
Prost. That's the German word for cheers for those of you who joined us.
Sorry,
in the
Team
beginning.
Prost, right?
Prost.
Hey,
whoa.
to interrupt, but yesterday you guys had some drinks and you said you were going to include me.
You got here just at the right time.
Let me see that ID.
We need that
I need to see
Getting
it.
ID on live television.
We need it.
Yeah.
Right? We need it.
I need it. I need to see this.
Here you go.
Okay.
Proof that I am over 21 years old.
Look, love
We got one for you, a beautiful Eyinger.
All right, give him a beer. Give him a beer.
There we go.
All right, now that Drew's here, we can do it again.
Yeah, there we go.
Prost.
There we go. And that's what the event's all about, just having fun with
it.
friends, trying some new beers. We got sausages from Butcher and Bird. We're gonna have hot dogs and sausages from Hank's, our awesome neighbors there at Salt. And then we got Bavarian pretzels from Sandra's Bavarian Pretzels. She makes authentic Bavarian pretzels.
Ooh.
Good stuff.
So lots of fun things to eat, live music the whole time, 6 to 8, we do the sign hoisting.
And you supposed to be beautiful outside.
What's the weather looking like that day?
Yeah, so it's about 10 days away. We're already forecasting a beautiful day out there. It's going to be around 89 degrees. Winds aren't going to be out of the northeast. They're going to be around east. It is a little bit further away, so we're still watching a couple of things out there. We've got a tropical disturbance brewing in the eastern Pacific that we're keeping eyes on, and then breezy east winds and dry air is going to be surrounding the entire state. So it should be a sunny, beautiful day out there to get to.
I love that. Now, Drew, I have no idea if this is legal, but if you did every weather forecast, like exactly in that attire right there,
that would be my dream. That would be my dream job.
That was amazing.
First, we better go ahead and get rid of this Texas.
That's a Texas idea.
All right, Tim, real quick, how do people get tickets, man? Oktoberfest, what's the best way?
So it's free to attend. There's no, you come in, you pay as you go. Parking in the Salt, we got Calvi Street parking garage. You can park across the street also. So it's free to attend. It's just pay as you go. 5 to 9, the 23rd of September and the 30th of September.
Love it. Start working out.
Yes,
You can
start
win.
building those beer muscles.
Check it out, Oktoberfest. I like the color.
See you tomorrow.
Cheers.